Imagine being told your entire life that you need at least $1.5 million to safely stop working. You see the headlines every single day, and you hear the experts on the news claiming that if you do not have a seven-figure bank account, you are headed for disaster. But then you look at your own savings, and the number staring back at you is closer to $200,000. For many of you, that realization brings a wave of cold fear and a feeling that you have somehow failed. I want you to take a deep breath and listen very closely to what I am about to tell you. You are not a failure, and you are certainly not alone. In fact, as we move through this year of 2026, you are part of the vast majority of hardworking people. The harsh truth that the media refuses to talk about is that the typical household approaching retirement right now does not have $1 million. According to the latest data from the Federal Reserve, the median retirement balance for those in their early 60s is actually between $185,000 and $200,000. The $1 million dream is exactly that for most people, a dream, but having $200,000 is a reality that can be managed if you know the rules of the game. Before we dive into the specific strategies to make your savings work for you, please take a moment to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. It helps this message reach others who are feeling the same weight of financial stress that you might be feeling today. Also, please leave a comment below sharing your biggest concern about retiring in today's economy, as I read every single one of them. Now, let's talk about why so many people find themselves with $200,000 instead of $1 million. It is not because you were lazy, and it is not because you did not care about your future. You lived through decades of record high inflation, you raised children, perhaps you helped pay for college, and you navigated a global economy that shifted beneath your feet. Life happened, and for most of the middle class, life is expensive. We have been conditioned to believe in lifestyle creep, the idea that as we earn more, we must spend more on bigger houses and newer cars. But now, in 2026, we are seeing the consequences of those choices, combined with an economy that has become increasingly difficult for the average person. The world has changed significantly over the last 5 years, and the old financial maps simply do not work anymore. We used to think that $1 million was the finish line, but for many, it has become an impossible hurdle that creates more anxiety than inspiration. The truth is that you can build a stable and fulfilling life on far less, provided you are willing to let go of the myths and embrace the math. If you have $200,000, you might be wondering how that could possibly be enough to cover 30 years of life. If we look, that is roughly $666 per month. On its own, that is clearly not enough to survive, especially with the cost of groceries and utilities in this current year of 2026. However, your retirement is not a single pillar. It is a structure built on several different foundations. The most important foundation for the majority of us is Social Security. In 2026, the average Social Security benefit has adjusted to roughly $2,000 per month per person. For a married couple, that is $4,000 every month arriving like clockwork. While that is not a life of luxury or private jets, it is a life of dignity and stability if your house is paid off. This brings us to a very important crossroad in your financial journey: the choice of when to actually start taking those benefits. Many people feel the urge to claim Social Security as early as possible, usually at age 62, because they are tired of the grind. But if you can find a way to wait, even just a few years, the math changes in your favor in a massive way. By delaying your claim until age 70, your monthly check increases by about 8% for every year you wait. This is the most guaranteed return on investment you will ever find in any market. Think of it as a way to turn a modest retirement into one that feels much more comfortable. But income is only one side of the coin. We must also look at your largest expense, which is almost always housing. There is an old saying that you cannot eat your kitchen cabinets to pay the electric bill. Many of you are sitting on a home that has doubled or even tripled in value over the last 10 years. You might have $400,000 in home equity, but that money is trapped in the walls of a house that is now too big for your daily needs. Selling a large family home and moving into a smaller, more efficient space can unlock hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash. If moving is not an option you want to consider, you must look at your other monthly drains. Subscription services, high-interest credit card debt, and the need to drive a brand new vehicle every 3 years are the silent killers of a happy retirement. Being broke is expensive, especially when you are paying interest to a bank instead of earning it for yourself. The numbers can be staggering, with some reports suggesting that a couple retiring today will need over $300,000 just for medical expenses over their lifetime. This is why understanding Medicare and having a clear plan for long-term care is vital. It is better to have these conversations now than to face them during a medical crisis. Financial peace of mind does not come from having an infinite amount of money. It comes from having a clear understanding of your boundaries. There are people with $5 million who are miserable because they are terrified of losing it all in a market crash. And there are people with $200,000 who are blissfully happy because they have no debt, a modest lifestyle, and a deep sense of gratitude. Wealth is not just the number in your bank account, it is the quality of the hours in your day. If you feel behind, please do not spend another minute beating yourself up for decisions made 20 years ago. Your first step should be a total audit of your liquid assets, knowing exactly what is available to you right now. Your second step is to create a Social Security strategy that maximizes your lifetime benefit rather than just taking the first check available. And your third step is to look at your lifestyle through the lens of what truly brings you joy, not what makes you look successful to your neighbors. Let us dig deeper into the concept of sequence of returns risk, which is a fancy way of saying that the timing of when you retire matters as much as how much you have. If you retire during a market downturn and start pulling money from a shrinking account, you can do permanent damage to your portfolio. This is why having a cash cushion or a bucket of safe assets is crucial when you only have $200,000. You want to make sure that you are never forced to sell your stocks when the market is bleeding. Think of your portfolio like a garden that needs time to grow. If you pull the plants out by the roots before they have a chance to fruit, you will go hungry. In 2026, we are seeing a shift in how people view work after 65. The idea of sitting in a rocking chair for 30 years is becoming obsolete. Many people are choosing to work part-time, not because they have to, but because it provides a sense of purpose and a social connection. A simple job that brings in an extra $1,000 a month can be the difference between a retirement of scarcity and a retirement of abundance. That small amount of income essentially doubles your withdrawal capacity from a $200,000 account. It also keeps your mind sharp and your body active, which are the two most important factors in longevity. We must also address the loneliness epidemic that is sweeping through the retired community. Isolation is not just a mental health issue, it is a financial one. When you are lonely, you are more likely to spend money on things you do not need to fill a void. You are also less likely to have a support system that can help you when things go wrong. Building a community of like-minded people who are in a similar financial situation is one of the best investments you can make. You can share costs, trade skills, and provide the kind of mutual aid that used to be common in every neighborhood. Now, let us consider the psychological weight of the words retirement and aging. For decades, society has told us that our value is tied to our productivity and our professional titles. When those titles are gone, many people feel a loss of identity that leads to reckless spending or deep depression. True wealth in 2026 is the ability to look in the mirror and be proud of the person you have become, regardless of the comma in your bank balance. We must also talk about the hidden traps of the financial industry that are specifically designed to target those with modest savings. High-fee annuities and complex insurance products often promise safety but deliver only mediocre returns while locking up your cash for years. When you have $200,000, liquidity is your best friend. You need to have access to your money without paying a penalty to a massive corporation. Keep your investments simple, keep your costs low, and stay focused on the long-term horizon. Inflation is a thief that works in the shadows, slowly stealing the purchasing power of your hard-earned dollars. This is why holding too much cash can be just as dangerous as holding too much risk. You need a balanced approach that allows your money to grow enough to keep pace with the rising cost of living. Think of your financial plan as a living organism that needs to adapt to the changing seasons of the economy. The strategies that worked in the 1980s or the 1990s are not the strategies that will carry you through the late 2020s. We must be smarter, leaner, and more intentional with every single dollar we possess. As we look toward the future, ask yourself what kind of legacy you want to leave for your children and grandchildren. Is it a pile of money? Or is it the wisdom of how to live a contented and purposeful life? By showing them that you can thrive on $200,000, you are giving them a gift far greater than any inheritance. You are showing them that happiness is not a destination you reach with a certain net worth, but a way of traveling through the world. Let us also discuss the importance of estate planning, even if you do not think you have enough to worry about. Having a simple will and a power of attorney ensures that your wishes are respected and that your family is not left with a legal mess. It is an act of love to get your house in order while you are healthy and clear-minded. In this year of 2026, technology has made it easier than ever to manage your own finances without paying a high-priced advisor. There are tools and communities available at your fingertips that can guide you through every step of this journey. Do not be afraid to learn new things and take control of your own destiny. You have the power to shape your future, but it requires courage and consistency. As we move toward the final stages of our discussion, I want you to look back at how far you have already come. You have survived every difficult day of your life so far, and you have the scars to prove it. Those scars are not signs of weakness. They are evidence of your resilience and your strength. Do not let a number on a screen define your self-worth or your outlook on life. You are more than your 401k, and you are more than your Social Security check. You are a human being with a story, a family, and a future that is still being written. As we navigate the complexities of 2026 together, remember that the most valuable asset you own is your time. Do not trade all of your remaining healthy years for a few extra dollars that you might never even get to spend. Focus on building a life that is rich in experiences, relationships, and peace. The world will always try to sell you more, but true freedom comes from wanting less. When you master your desires, you master your destiny. If you found value in this perspective, please hit the like button and subscribe for more honest discussions about wealth and retirement. I would love to hear from you in the comments. What is one thing you are willing to give up to ensure your financial freedom? Thank you for your time today, and remember, you are doing better than you think you are. The road ahead may be challenging, but you have the strength and the wisdom to walk it with confidence. Believe in yourself, trust the process, and never stop learning. The best years of your life are not behind you. They are the years you are about to create. Take control of your finances, protect your health, and cherish your loved ones. Everything else is just noise in the background. Keep moving forward, one step at a time. As we conclude this discussion, let us reflect on the legacy we want to leave behind. It is not just about the money we pass on, but the values and the lessons we share with the next generation. Show them that a life well lived is not defined by a balance sheet, but by the love and the integrity we bring to the world. That is the true meaning of a successful retirement. Stay strong, stay focused, and I will see you in the next one.